That is the hardest part of that ring.
For the hardest part of the ring.
Hello, everybody, and welcome
The hardest part of the ring.
Hello and welcome to episode 17 of Hardest Part of the Ring, the podcast where four friends get together to discuss the wonder of professional wrestling. My name isn't Adam, it's Sam, and I'm joined today by two friends who I'm about to put on the spot. John, happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Who's your wrestling Valentine's going to be?
Oh, you know what? I think I'm going to go with Minoru Suzuki. Obviously, he's got a very hard facade, like granite, but I reckon there's a soft, gooey nougat in there somewhere that I can crack with my excellent conversation techniques.
Yeah, I think you've just written a card. Just perfect. And the other laughing you'll hear is Brett. Hello, Brett.
Hello.
Brett, who's your wrestling Valentine's?
Well, it's an easy one, really. It's got to be AJ Styles all the time. I mean, just for the hair alone.
His hair is bonkers.
His hair is amazing.
It's definitely of a different era.
Yeah. It's always on point. So, yeah. And I love everything he does. So, it's got to be AJ.
Solid choices. I'm not sure who mine would be. Maybe I always say Johnny Gargano, so I'm going to stick with my guns. Good old Johnny. I love you, mate.
Everyone loves
Handsome
Gargano.
Johnny wrestling.
So to address the elephant in the room, we're Adamless.
Boo.
He's gone.
Yeah, boo. Where are you, Adam?
Big dog. He's run afoul of the higher ups.
He's trying to agitate for a move to another podcast.
Yeah, he's been given a 1 week suspension. So I've been pushed up the card.
He's not doing a Dolph Ziggler, is he? And walking out and then
He'll be back for
sneaking
WrestleMania.
back in.
Yeah.
Adam, from now on, you are number 30 in our hearts. keeping our Valentine's theme. Although we actually haven't gone Valentine's this week. We put it out to a vote, and we're going to be doing top 5 stables.
I'm glad the Valentine's one didn't win because that would have been tricky.
Yes.
It's a difficult one because you don't want to be mentioning Billy and Chuck because of all the weird homophobia around it. But that's what would have been my go-to. But before we get to the top 5 stables, what was it, a week ago, 2 weeks ago? We all attended Riptide Deep Six, which incredible stuff, wasn't it?
Oh, amazing! So good.
Yeah, one of the best shows yet, I think.
A fantastic one, really was. Just great card. Really big names on there as well. We had Jimmy Havoc, Flash Morgan Webster, Tony Storm.
David Starr.
David Starr, your favourite wrestler's favourite wrestler.
I do love David Starr.
He was
he's
fantastic. Good. He deserved to win that match.
Yeah.
He did. He's coming back to the next one. They've just announced, so that'll be awesome.
Brilliant. It was a bit of a weird show because like all the heels were going over this week.
Yeah. That dastardly Spike.
Yeah, bastard.
He is absolutely burning it up on Riptide, though. He's so good.
Yeah. I've noticed progress, I think, are trying to get in on that action now.
He's such a perfect character.
He is.
He encapsulates a British heel.
Yeah, he doesn't he's got, especially at Riptide, he's got a little stable starting. And there's definitely echoes of a Ted DiBiase sort of, Money Inc. sort of buying his stable.
God, that's so telling of our society today. The modern day Ted DiBiase is this horrible Tory Spike Trevay.
I quite like this Tory gimmick because there's a lot of legs on it, isn't there? Like, you could go down this whole majority government kind of theme or a coalition or there's a lot to it.
Yeah.
We need more politics in wrestling, apart from when it's Vince McMahon.
Or Donald Trump at
or Donald Trump.
WrestleMania.
Very true. Best match of the night?
Oh, it's got to be Travis Banks versus Mike Bailey.
Yeah.
That's the best
Easily.
match I've ever seen live. It was
same goes.
amazing.
Brutal
Incredible
as well.
stuff.
Those strikes, they were so hard.
Yeah.
So painful.
Just an amazing match, that. It just kind of, every single time I thought it was going to end, they kept it going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, God, it left me hurting just watching it.
It did. It made me understand, the Travis Banks thing. Because, watching him when he started in Super Strong Style. Sort of like I could see he was good, but I didn't quite like click with his thing yet. And then, but like when you see him live, it's like, okay, it totally makes sense. The guy's a beast.
Yeah, I'm really into him at the moment. I'm totally falling for him.
Yeah.
So when I was doing my research for this podcast, I didn't actually realise he was part of CCK. Is that still the case?
Yes. Well, he
Every so often, isn't it? When
he's like a floating sort of around South Pacific Power Trip and CCK.
Right. So he wrestles more than Lycos does for CCK.
well,
Yeah, pretty much.
Poor
Okay,
old Lycos.
Get well soon, buddy.
Yeah.
So yeah, a really, really great show as always from Riptide. Just top stuff. If you're down the south coast, go and see it because it's worth it. It's really great. Evening.
Double event next time as well, next month.
Yes.
So yeah, just fantastic show from Riptide. Heels going over, and Spike Trevay, he spits champagne in my face, and then he forms a stable, and that's what we're here to talk about today: stables.
Great segue,
Awesome.
mate.
Yeah. Smooth. Smooth.
Oh my God! Oh, nice spread on the apron.
So this week we're going to be discussing and ranking our top 5 stables. Now, normally here Adam would give some kind of explanation about the history of our topic. I'm not Adam.
Stables exist in wrestling.
I've got a little bit here. So the eldest stable. Anyone want to take a guess at this?
The oldest stable.
The oldest stable.
Ascot. I'm going off piste.
Guess.
I get you.
It was actually built in 1304 BC by Ramses II.
Oh,
It housed around 480 horses, and
Right.
yeah, that's comparable to the NWO.
Ew.
So cool, cheap pop at WCW.
There's
Shaq.
going to be more of that later, don't you, alright?
Fantastic. John, you are up first.
Yes, and I was so glad I was up first because I'm going tactical with this one. This was my third choice, but I'm going first just in case any of you bastards take it.
Ooh.
So I'm going for Bullet Club.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Unexpected.
Yeah.
So obviously a Japanese stable from New Japan forms when Prince Devitt turned on his tag teammate. I didn't know this until I researched it. Taguchi.
Yeah.
That's a
That's,
weird tag team. The funky butt guy.
Oh, he's in loads of weird tag teams though.
He was with Ricochet.
Like he was
wasn't
with, he was with Ricochet. He's in some odd ones.
I don't like him anyway.
Oh,
Yeah.
what?
I would have loved it when Devitt turned on him. Obviously, Prince Devitt is Finn Balor. Although Prince Devitt's such a way better name.
Then Finn Balor, do you reckon?
Oh, I love Prince Devitt. He had some great merch as well. Some of his t-shirts were badass. But he obviously teamed up with Cole Anderson, Tamal Tonga, Bad Luck Fale, and then shortly after that, the Young Bucks. They're the evil foreign stable group.
I mean, evil is a...
Well, I think they
Very
started off a
relative
bit
term,
more
yeah.
evil. Sort of heelish.
Yeah.
Heelish. They're sort of more tweener now, aren't they? Sort of in between.
Yeah, they're kind of at that hipstery point now where everyone loves them, but...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, Devitt left was replaced by the amazing AJ Styles. And then Omega took over when AJ left. They've won every belt in New Japan. I think they're the only stable to do so.
Did you see quite recently Chaos posted a picture with all their belts? They are.
Yeah.
They've got it.
A Roppongi 3K in Chaos?
Yes, they are.
I hate Roppongi 3K.
Do you? I haven't made my mind up on them yet.
I like them. I'm on board.
Anyway, guys, back to the Bullet Club. Come on, stay focused.
Bullet Club.
Fantastic choice. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
An obvious but fantastic choice.
Obvious. Come on.
Well, it's the new NWO.
Yeah, I mean, they're heavily influenced by NWO.
Yeah.
Obviously, the Too Sweet. Much better in the ring, though, than NWO.
Yeah.
It's missing a Hogan.
Yeah.
A lot of people would say.
They did have Jeff Jarrett in their midst for a while.
A strange choice.
Yeah.
Did they?
Yeah, apparently. Yeah.
Oh.
Cool. Brett.
Oh, do I go tactical or do I just go with my first link? I'm going to go, okay, my first one is my only old sort of classic choice. And I realised I was going through loads of stables, like trying to refresh my mind. And I didn't like most stables.
There's always a few hangers on, aren't there?
There's like so many. It's like, yeah, I didn't really like them. and I didn't like them, I know like some are, meant to be classic and great, but I just went with the people that I loved. So obviously my first is the Hart Foundation in 97. So when they, before, the build up to the screw job and lots of, people leaving, people dying, all manner of things.
Usually puts an end to the membership. Doesn't it?
Wow.
Yeah. It's, it's a stable that's built on family, like truly, which is great. They had my favourites in Brett and Owen and even the British Bulldog, which, just top talent.
Yeah, I've always wondered, how does Jim the Anvil Neidhart kind of factor into all of this? Is he a relation, or is it just like
Married.
He's married
sister,
sister, yeah.
Oh, right. So that's like a double barrel surname.
No, that's, I think, just his surname. I think
what
it
weird
just
coincidence. Or maybe kayfabe, who knows?
Bulldog was also married to a sister, wasn't he?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and in fact, the only person in the stable that wasn't actual family or married was Brian Pillman, but he was trained in the dungeon by Stu Hart, so I think that's his connection there.
It's a solid stable. I'm kind of sad that we don't have an iteration of the Hart Foundation anymore in WWE.
The Rotundas, maybe you could do that, couldn't you?
Yeah. I mean, there's such a quality, there's a dynasty, as you're talking about. There's not really anything equal at the moment, which is a shame. It's a shame that, I mean, I know we have like Natty, but that there was no sort of second, third generation really to come through beyond that time.
There's a shame. They're an absolute classic institution of wrestling, so hopefully they'll come back in the next 20 years or so, make some babies, make some wrestlers. All right. So my number one choice, I'm going to attempt to pronounce it because one of us has to.
You son of a... Should have gone tactical.
I can't believe you didn't go for this one, Brett. I thought this was nailed on as yours.
So, Los Ingobernables de Japón. How was that?
Solid, actually.
Ingobernables.
Ingobernables. You see, I've realised now the reason Adam is not hosting this week is because someone had to say that.
Let's go LIJ.
God. LIJ. I love LIJ. They are just fantastic.
Yeah.
It's a tough one because there are so many good Japanese stables at the moment, but LIJ I just feel like are absolutely tearing it up in that kind of... They're not really at the top of the card, are they? They're kind of in the upper mids.
Yeah,
or like...
which is strange because the quality of wrestler in LIJ is, I think, stronger than any other stable in New Japan.
Well, I mean, they sort of were top. If you think of like the belts that they have held and the belts that they're holding at the moment, I think they're certainly up there.
They are absolutely they're knocking on that door, but like they're all taking turns jobbing to Okada at the moment, which...
Well, that's everyone in New Japan.
Very good point. I love the team camaraderie between these guys, how they seem to be dicks to everyone, and then they're kind of a dicks to each other, but not really. Just a fantastic team stable. I think probably like one of my favourites at the moment, Hiromu. Oh my god, Takahashi or Tanahashi?
Takahashi.
Thank you. One of my favourites at the moment, Hiromu Takahashi, just absolutely tearing it up in the heavyweight division.
Did you see his match for Will Ospreay at New Beginnings?
Yeah.
Man, that was so good.
Him and Naito are just fantastic. And of course, Evil and Sanada, brilliant wrestlers. The whole team is just top stuff. And looking forward to seeing what they're going to do next.
What do we think of Sanada's new mask? The bone one. I like it.
I prefer it to his like massive horned thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was like... too wide, needed to stick to his face.
Yeah, the crazy nose wasn't good on it.
No. Also, Evil Scythe seems to be getting bigger every match I see him in.
And good for him. It's about time. I got so sick of that Toys R Us bullshit he was putting into the ring.
He's spending that tag team champion money.
Right. Well, first round picks: Bullet Club, Hart Foundation, LIJ. I mean, that's solid right there.
That is.
And that brings us round to Brett. Your next pick.
My next pick. So I had notes on Los Ingobernables de Japón, but I don't get to pick them now. Okay, I'm going to go for British Strong Style.
British Strong Style.
Yeah.
What a choice.
they're on my long list, honourable mentions. As far as I know, there's only Pete Dunne, Trent Seven, and Tyler Bate. But when you've got three talents that awesome with that much charisma, you don't need anyone else.
It's very true. I'm going to be controversial here.
Cool.
Trent Seven, is he kind of dead weight in that team?
Oh,
What? No.
No,
Not
okay.
at all. Not at
Just
all.
me.
He's the best talker. Easily the best talker out of all three.
Oh, and he's so entertaining.
Yeah,
unbelievably entertaining. And when he has when he goes in for some solid match, he's awesome there as well. You know, he brings out the is it the Dragon Suplex and the Rainmaker or the 7-star Lariat?
Yeah, his character work is amazing. When I saw him against Minoru Suzuki at Rev Pro, he was awesome. He was really good.
I think that's the thing. I've only ever seen him in WWE, and we haven't had a chance yet to really see what he can do there.
No, my favourite Trent Seven moment is when he got knocked out in like 30 seconds by Matt Riddle.
Yes, super strong style. That was so good
because he was given all the bullshit beforehand. It was so good.
Yeah,
so funny.
Oh, that's amazing. Solid choice.
And I love their when they were doing the whole Peaky Blinders look. Just everything all round. I think great in the ring. They got great characters, and with two of them being so young, I hope my wish is for WWE to just put them together and then take an Undisputed Era or something. That would just
that'd be a great match. Yeah.
That'd be sploosh.
They come across so well. Both Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate, you can see those guys working as faces, heels. I mean, you can see them at top of the WWE card in a few years. I really hope that comes to fruition.
Yeah, they need to get on the main roster. They're so good.
Absolutely. Okay, so my second choice. I've got the easy one out of the way now. So now it's kind of like we start getting to these weirder ones. I've gone for. There's so many obvious ones, and I've gone for a non-obvious one, I think. I've selected The Authority in a certain
interesting
variation. So the specific version I'm looking at here is The Authority starring Seth Rollins, J&J Security, a little bit of Kane, a little bit of Triple H, a little bit of Stephanie, but hopefully less of those guys and more of the... now 2015, was this the year of Seth Rollins?
Yeah, very much so. I mean, J&J Security are one of my favourite things from WWE for the last 5 years. I love those guys.
Absolutely. I mean, I think it's very easy to overlook how much Seth Rollins really carried the company in that year, and just from the moment he turned on the Shield all the way through till past WrestleMania, everything he did, all the way up until his knee popped. Just excellent stuff, and he played that heel persona so well. And J&J, I was really rooting for them to actually maybe have a run of it in the tag division, because they're both accomplished wrestlers, both accomplished tag team wrestlers as well. And you could just see that entire faction just, I don't know, bring something more. And I say bring something more, I mean, it was great seeing Seth Rollins be so dominant and just do such a great job of being a heel champion.
Yeah, I miss Seth Rollins heel. He was so good. I also miss Corporate Kane. Let's bring Corporate Kane back.
You know what? So that's a weird thing. I really miss Corporate Kane.
Yeah, he was great.
Well. Even when he started feuding with Seth Rollins and he started doing this kind of general manager half demonic thing, I loved that. I thought it was really good. I just probably wouldn't put him back in the ring.
No.
Sorry, Kane.
No, definitely not.
So some people have a long life in the ring, others have a shorter time. I mean, it's good to finish on a high.
Kane's had a long old time.
Yeah,
he has. He's been part of some great stables and tag teams, and he's been doing it for himself as well, doing a good job. Cool. John, number 2.
Right. I'm a little bit obsessed with WCW at the moment, so I've gone for the big guns, the NWO.
The old world order at this point.
Yes. So created by Eric Bischoff, based actually off a Japanese storyline of New Japan, where they had a rival promotion invaded them and challenging their top guys. And it sort of started with Scott Hall turning up and sort of challenging the WCW top guys to fight his friends. And they really implied, they kind of implied that they were from WWF still. So much so that WWF actually like issued a lawsuit.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm sure there were many lawsuits at that time being thrown.
This was an interesting time around that point because they tried to, I don't know if they did it with Scott Hall, but they certainly tried to replace Kevin Nash with a fake Diesel.
Yeah, they did. It was Kane, wasn't it?
Time. I think it was, yeah.
So Kevin Nash then turned up, and they had this big fight at Bash on the Beach '96 between Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, and their mystery friend versus Macho Man, Lex Luger, and Sting.
I was really hoping you were going to say Buff Bagwell.
So, but the match started with just Hall and Nash, and they said their friend was going to join them later. And like near the end of the match, they'd taken out Luger and Sting and were pounded on Macho Man. And then out of nowhere, Hogan turns up, like in his like red and yellow. The crowd goes insane. Hogan gets into the ring, and then does the leg drop of doom on Macho Man, and everything just goes silent.
I remember this.
Yeah.
I remember seeing
Heel Hogan was born. The crowd boo the house down, throw garbage into the ring. It's covered in crap. And that was how the New World Order was formed.
That's incredible. I don't think you could take a bigger face at the time and do that.
See, I don't remember, like, perhaps when that happened, because I was watching some WCW at that point, and I don't think I quite got perhaps the grand scale of what was going on between the two promotions with WWF and WCW. So I guess like the scale of it didn't quite hit me, because I was like, when they were coming over and stuff, I was like so over those guys already. I was like, come on, I want to watch, like, you know, the other people. I don't want to see you guys again.
Well, I mean, that's part of their downfall as well, and that whole build-up and that idea of this sort of invading force within a company was so over and so popular, and they were so cool.
Yeah.
But then after that point, it kind of just fell really flat. Like, they couldn't wrestle anymore. Especially, I mean, Kevin Nash could never fucking wrestle. I hate watching a Kevin Nash match.
Poor Kevin Nash's knees. He can't help those.
Yeah, and then Eric Bischoff made himself a member of the NWO when they became popular. It was just...
So, I mean, the NWO was a bit of a beautiful mess, really. It was like a real fantastic thing, and then all of a sudden it became bloated, old, and overdone.
So many members.
But, I mean, you can't overstate its influence. You know, you wouldn't have a Bullet Club today without the NWO.
Yeah, but I mean, you're completely right. It's just weird how they have so much influence, because like, I don't remember NWO as a kid sort of growing up. It's only sort of in the last few years I've gone back and rewatched all this stuff. And actually watching it, it's just, the matches are awful.
Yeah.
Like Hogan versus the Big Show, Macho Man, and Roddy Piper. Like, these are all past their best, and these were main eventing pay-per-views. It was awful.
Yeah. I think that's what started to, like, that is exactly what ruined, I think, WCW for me at that time, because I was enjoying watching some new people, some different people, and then, like, the old guys. It's essentially what Hogan and Bischoff did to TNA.
Yeah, it's exactly the same.
Like, there was all this great talent, there was great matches, and then they came in and they just shit on it.
Yeah, but I'm putting NWA forward because they are important, and
they are absolutely influential in the history of wrestling and stables.
Totally am. They're iconic. I totally get that.
And I am totally obsessed with WCW at the moment. Just, it's such a car crash. It's
I'm so sorry, God. And we thought Adam was the sick one.
Yeah.
All right. Choice number 3. My God, this has not gone the way I was expecting. I've now all of a sudden looking at a plethora of like backup options and tactical choices. And then I'm just going to select my shit one, to be honest. My number 3 choice is Right to Censor.
Oh, I had an inkling you might pick these guys.
I hated Right to Censor.
Yeah.
I hated them so much. Like, I was about 12, 13 at the time when Stephen Richards formed Right to Censor, and I didn't really appreciate the kind of maybe tongue-in-cheek, ironic facade that they were bringing to the whole censorship side of wrestling at this point. I just thought they were being annoying. And looking back on it, I think they did some fantastic stuff. Like they took some of the best, I say the best stars, some of the most kind of like outlandish, sexually charged wrestlers like The Godfather and Val Venus, and they put them in a stable about censorship. This is Drew Gulak before Drew Gulak.
I think Val Venus now sells weed.
I think that's probably true. I'm not going to look it up. I'm not going to check.
No,
in fact,
we'll just go with it.
I'm not even hosting next time. So, Adam, you get to deal with all the backlash if that's not true. He's probably doing heroin with X-Pac.
I can't believe you've chosen a stable with The Godfather and Val Venus.
Who's the good father?
It wouldn't be a top 5 if The Godfather wasn't in it in some capacity.
I really hated their entrance music. It was that big siren just used to
It was so obnoxious and irritating. And Stevie Richards was a fantastic wrestler. Like, even in the ECW days, the Stevie kit was awesome. And I was a big fan of his. I think he did a really great job. And yeah, happy to have those guys on the list.
If they get into the top 5, we're going to be so much trouble.
They're not getting into the top 5.
Look, we had to have some controversial picks.
Yeah, it's usually my picks, but
well, John, sort it out. Fix
actually, speaking of controversial, this next stable of mine definitely has a bit of controversy around it. Ooh. So it's
God, no, don't say them.
No, don't worry, it's not those. It's the Ministry of Darkness.
Okay.
So as a teenager, I was really into metal. I love The Undertaker and the Ministry of Darkness. There's a lot of like satanic themes in their storylines. They even tried to embalm Stone Cold Steve Austin. And when that didn't work, they crucified him.
I remember this.
It was The Undertaker, and then Acolytes, and then they kidnapped a wrestler and turned him into Midian.
Yep.
They kidnapped Viscera, or Mabel at the time, and turned him into Viscera. Then the Brood joined, so it's quite a big stable. And who
was in the Brood at the time? Was it Edge and Christian and Gangrel?
Yeah, it was all 3 of them. Yeah.
It was.
Oh, what a great tag team!
Yeah,
and they wanted to take over, and kind of Vince was in their way. And I remember as a kid, it really did feel like they were taking over. Like every pay-per-view felt like it was them versus the sort of other wrestlers. Like they were trying to take everything over. It did get a bit out of hand at WrestleMania. I want to say 15. It was Undertaker versus Bossman in a cage match, and obviously Taker won. It's WrestleMania. After the match, the Brood came down and then hung the big Bossman from the cage. Which is actually, just thinking about it, is so shocking.
Wrestling was kind of crazy.
Yeah, in the late 90s. There's also lots of imagery with like burning crosses and all sorts of weird and wonderful stuff. And they kind of alluded to like this darker power leading them, which turned out to be Stephanie McMahon.
The payoff of this was fantastic in the end when Vince reveals himself in the corporate ministry.
Yes.
It was me, Austin. These guys were actually on my long list.
Yeah, I mean, I was really into wrestling at the time, and it was mainly because of this. Like, I found it so fascinating, just this really dark force within the WWE. It was great. Loved them.
I think that's a really great pick.
Yeah.
Brat, final pick, mate.
So my final pick is a current and fairly new stable, and I've gone for Sanity.
Ooh.
I've gone for Eric Young, Alexander Wolf, Killian Dane, Nikki Cross, and obviously they had Sawyer Fulton at the start, but I don't want to be mean and say thankfully he got injured, but I mean he got replaced by Killian Dane, so that was a win. I just think that, again, for me, it's another stable where like I like all the guys in it, like all the wrestlers are great. I mean, an Eric Young fan for absolute donkeys, and it's great to have him in WWE, and with like, you know, such a look, that Mad Max thing when they came out initially with the faces covered and everything was just so cool. I mean,
love Sanity.
Yeah, I love them. It's early days for them, and I mean, I think it's a bit of a shame in a way for them because they came in and it was a big, it was a big deal and they were doing great. And then I think they signed a load of new people and suddenly there's Undisputed Era and stuff, and suddenly they're I think they're starting to get lost in the shuffle, which could be a shame. I hope it doesn't happen.
A cult like WWE stable getting lost in the shuffle.
Yeah, I just think there's so much more legs to this stable. Yeah,
I absolutely agree. I think kind of one of the more interesting things I like about this stable is the fact that they push Killian Dane a lot.
Yeah.
Despite being a secondary member and more or less a tag team partner, he seems to get a lot of kind of single competition. And he was in the Andre the Giant Battle Royale, was it, a couple of years ago?
Yeah, he was.
And he has title shots here and there. It's an interesting take on the stable. I like it quite a lot.
Yeah, it's definitely when they were tag champs, they had the Freebird rule going. I mean, and Nikki Cross, when she was first, I think in NXT, she didn't really have a gimmick or anything, and then they obviously wanted to put this together, and they thought she just took it and ran with it because she is
fantastic in that role.
Absolutely awesome.
I think kind of as well, Alexander Wolf, a very unsung hero of Sanity. I think kind of the insane thing he brings to the party is really cool. He's literally like a mad dog, and I think that kind of it just works so well.
They sell the character in it. I think each of them plays into it great.
Absolutely, and I think that's a really cool selection. We have 3 choices from Adam here. Do you guys want to take a guess at it before I give you them?
DX.
No DX.
New Day.
No. New Day is there.
New
In fact,
Day.
it's the only one that hasn't been mentioned so far. Adam's 3 choices were the NWO, British Strong Style, and It's a New Day. Yes, it is.
Ah.
Adam chose the NWO.
Adam chose the NWO. I know. That's weird.
Man, he is sick. He really is sick.
Yeah.
Someone get a doctor to Adam straight away.
I'm sure he's thinking of the old version of the new version of the NWO when it kind of everyone in their ground was a part of it. Maybe even the BWO with the Blue Meanie.
Oh, well, they were going to be my honourable mentions, the Blue World Order.
Well, guys, we have a full list here, and there's no 4 Horsemen.
Yes.
There's no D-Generation X.
Yes.
There's no Suzuki Gun.
Yeah.
Suzuki Gun isn't a good faction, though, is it? The rest of the wrestlers, except for Suzuki, are pretty awful, I think.
Oh,
wow. Zack Sabre Jr. is going to be really upset.
Yeah, Sabre Jr. obviously.
Who's at the next Riptide? So we'll let him know what you think, John.
Well, it's a fascinating list. Just to recap, our current list is the Bullet Club, the Hart Foundation, Los Ingobernables de Japón, it's nailed it, British Strong Style, the Authority, the good version, the NWO, Right to Censor, the bad version, the Ministry of Darkness, Sanity, the NWO again, A New Day, and British Strong Style again. Thanks for your backups, Adam.
Shall we do some listener submissions?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so we've got JFit. He says Right to Censor is up there purely because of the vitriolic nuclear heat they got. Haven't seen a heel faction even close to being as hated since. So,
obviously, he's forgotten X Factor.
Got a fair point. Rowdy Johnny Piper says, does the McMahon family count? That's a good question. Do they count?
I don't know.
Have they ever all been on the same side?
That's a very good point. Yeah.
I don't think they have they? They must have, but they seem to always be at war with each other.
Yeah. We've got Michael Denin. Sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. He's gone 4 Horsemen, greatest period. I was thinking about the 4 Horsemen, but I just haven't watched enough of their stuff really to...
So this is, I think, almost like before we do our top 5, I think the biggest tragedy is that they're not going to be in it, and it's because all of us haven't really watched enough old wrestling. But god damn, if this top 5 was presented by anyone, the 4 Horsemen would be the ones giving out the award.
Yeah. I mean, this is our top 5, our personal top 5, rather than the
this is
greatest
not
5 stables of all time.
Definitive,
Yeah, I think that's quite important to point out. Otherwise, Right to Censor.
Yeah.
Really struggle.
Definitely be up there, obviously. He's also gone NWO, define what stable was. Fabulous Freebirds, LIJ. Dungeon of Doom. Do you remember Dungeon of Doom?
It's a new one to me.
It was a group of it's WCW trying to get Hogan out of WCW. But it was typical WCW in that everyone was in this stable at one point.
Oh, yeah.
Fascinating.
Old Mr. Beerface has gone Heenan family. Amazing individuals, amazing group, amazing leader. That's a good point. That also, I mean, that stable went on for decades. And then fan favourite, Heel Nick Payne. Horseman because they're the original stable. NWO because it was different to see Hogan as such a badass heel. DX because I was about 12 to 13, so they were the coolest thing ever. Bullet Club, yes. Oh, good shout actually. Evolution.
Uh,
I really like Evolution. Like young Randy Orton and Batista. Come on.
No.
Sorry, Trips.
Wow.
Wow, some great choices there. So, before we put these into our top 5 and decide them, I'm in charge here. I've decided, you know what? I'm going to dish out some podcast points, but you're going to have to earn them.
Oh, thought we were getting some freebies then, Sam.
You're right, but I'm going to make you guys work for it. So you're both going to get points if you can work together as part of a stable. There are currently 8 WWE wrestlers from SmackDown, Raw, and NXT who used to be in the 4 big New Japan stables of Los Ingobernables de Japón, Chaos, Suzuki Gun, and Bullet Club. Can you name all 8 of them?
Adam Cole.
Correct.
What? AJ Styles.
Correct.
Finn Balor.
Correct.
Gallows and Anderson.
Correct and correct. This is where it gets fun.
Cien Almas.
Incorrect.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. He's in the CMLL in Gobernables, the original.
That's right.
If
you guys don't get this, I'm giving the podcast points to Adam.
How many have we got so far?
You've got 5. You've got 3 more to guess.
3 more across all of them that have been...
I'm just trying to think. I think 2 on Raw, 1 is on SmackDown. Not entirely sure about that. 1 is in 205 Live.
Oh, Shinsuke Nakamura. Good lord.
Correct.
Oh, that was a shameful one to miss.
Kira Tozawa.
Incorrect. Good guess, though. All right, I'm going to give you guys 2 more guesses each.
Drawing a blank.
2 more guesses each. Okay. I am... 1 on 205 Live. Oh, fucking hell. This is so hard.
See, the podcast points, they don't come easy under the reign of Sam.
Grand Metalik.
Nope.
I'm out. I don't think I can't think of anyone.
You're out. Brett, you got anything?
I don't think I have.
Oh, dear.
Cesaro?
Nope. The 2 names you're missing are Brian Kendrick, who was a member of Chaos.
He was in Chaos.
He was in Chaos.
I would never have got that.
Shelton Benjamin, part of Suzuki Gun.
Get out of town. Really?
I know. Yeah. Weird, right?
Yeah, it's so weird seeing that.
Strange. Well done, Adam, for winning the podcast points.
Well done, Adam.
That's how this ship sails. So we're going to order our list of factions, our stables, into our top 5. Where do we start? Who's definitely not in this top 5?
Definitely not in this top 5.
Yeah.
Right to censor.
Come on.
I mean,
come on,
Brett's right.
I mean, I'm just gonna. Sorry, Sam. I mean, you know,
I'm on the fence about NWO. You know, because I mean, obviously the idea was great and they were super popular, and it did change the way it did change wrestling. But
I don't think we can get rid of NWO just because of how iconic and important they are to the history of wrestling.
Okay. Plus, as we didn't do 4 Horsemen.
Okay, so I'm going to go controversial here, and I say we get rid of the new World Order. I say we cut the Bullet Club.
Oh, what?
Oh.
Yeah. I don't think the Bullet Club are in the top 5 stables.
I'm not. No, let's put a pin in that. Let's come back to that. British Strongest style.
I mean, I've already expressed my views on Trent Seven, so I'm not batting for those guys.
You'll change your mind when you see the next show.
I'm going to regret it massively.
You're going to
I see
regret
the
it.
next one. Okay, so I say
can
we're cutting
understand it.
right to censor, cut British Strong Style.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, they were
Yeah.
my backup.
Okay.
I think they're great though.
So I think Heart Foundation should be in the top 5.
Yeah, I think that's kind of nailed on.
Thank you.
Fair.
Can we say Lij as well?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Seeing as they were one of my definites as well.
Okay. The New Day. How do we feel about the New Day as a faction?
I love the New Day, and they were on my long list.
But Adam's not here, so fuck it. They're off.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't see the New Day as a stable. I see them as a tag team.
Yeah.
It's a weird one because there's
yeah,
three of them, but
it is. It does get weird when there's only a few, doesn't it?
yeah. I'm sorry, Adam, but you do get podcast points, so I mean it's not all bad. Who have we got here? Ministry of Dark. I'm just going to run through who we still got here. So the Bullet Club, the Authority, the NWO, Ministry of Darkness, Sanity. Who?
I'm happy
doesn't
for
belong?
Ministry of Darkness to not make the top 5.
I'm not sure.
I really like them. I think they're awesome.
Yeah, some
I
great
kind of-
people in there as well, though, with Edge and Christian in the Brood.
Yeah, but also Viscera. Lest we forget.
It's interesting because like a lot of their members went on to found their own factions as well. Like you had JBL and you've got Edge as well. Both of those guys made factions.
Oh god, yeah, JBL. Yeah, get rid of Ministry of Darkness.
Wow, that's all it takes apparently. How do we feel about the Authority? Seth Rollins and J&J, Kane, Triple H.
Well, see, this is where I'm happy to be overruled because I don't really like, I didn't
Authority.
like the Authority or anything, but I understand other people's love of them. So you guys can veto me if you want.
Well, the Authority was kind of more like loosely a faction / stable. It wasn't really. They didn't have like a common sort of goal necessarily. They were all going off and all doing their different bits and pieces.
I'm not sure. I think it was all built around Seth Rollins.
Was it?
I mean, he was kind of like the golden boy of the company. J&J went off wrestling, and Kane wasn't really doing anything. In fact, there was an entire feud when he kind of felt like J&J, when he felt like Seth Rollins was getting too much attention.
Okay. Let's put a pin in Authority. Let's go back to Bullet
Okay.
Club.
I think
Alright.
Bullet Club should be in there.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, I've been overruled on that.
I mean,
So-
just look at every WWE event and just see how many Bullet Club t-shirts there are.
Yeah.
That's very true. I am currently wearing a Bullet Club t-shirt right now. So who am I to
Plus,
talk?
if you think of like the people they have in it and have had in it
Yeah.
as well.
Jeff Jarrett.
I mean,
that's
apart from Jeff Jarrett, so much talent.
They've had amazing players like Bone Soldier, Bad Luck Fale, Tamatonga. Tamatonga's actually a good wrestler.
Yeah.
All right, we got 3 nailed on here. I'm going to say NWO has to be in there.
Yeah.
I'm not going to complain. Okay. So we're left with what? Sanity, the Authority,
Sanity.
Ministry of Darkness.
I think we cut the Ministry of Darkness. JBL were in it.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Um,
So I think the Authority goes over Sanity.
yeah. How do you feel about that, Brett?
Well, I mean, I disagree, but
Of course. Yeah. Fight your corner, dude.
no,
I'm calling you
but
out.
but at the same time, like they're still quite new, and I think, well, are they quite new now?
I mean,
I mean, what was it 2016?
I think Sanity have a strong argument to be in here. In fact,
Yeah,
as much as I love the Authority and as much as I love Seth Rollins and the year that he had of just kicking ass and being a dickhead heel, Sanity are a traditional stable.
yeah.
And
There's
they are-
definitely a like Lij, or even like the Heart Foundation and Bullet Club. There's definitely like a theme that runs through
Yeah.
them, and it's solid. And
Honestly, I as much as I love the Authority, I just don't think it hangs with Sanity, who is an actual stable.
Okay then.
Doing the
So
job.
we've got our
Wow.
top 5.
So we've got 5 here. now the fun job of putting them in order.
So actually, for once, even though LIJ ended up being your choice, my 3 are in the top 5. Get in.
Mate,
I mean, it's an interesting appropriation of my pick there.
Well, they were my second pick, but I had to ditch them because you picked them.
Okay. I'm just going to read them out and then we can kind of take it from there. So, Bullet Club, the Heart Foundation, Los Ingobernables de Japón, the NWO, and Sanity.
So I think Sanity probably number 5, right?
Yeah, they definitely bring up the rear.
I think I agree with you there.
Okay, I'm going to shoot an order at you.
Okay.
Always going to.
Sanity, yeah, brace yourselves.
All right.
Sanity,
Yep.
LIJ,
Okay. Kind of lost me already.
NWO, Heart Foundation, Bullet Club.
Nope.
No, I'm definitely LIJ over Bullet Club.
I like the Bullet Club.
Yeah,
but
me too.
I'm not there with you. I don't feel like they are. I don't even think they're the best stable in Japan.
Okay, that gives us something to work on. So LIJ goes above Bullet Club. How do you feel about Bullet Club and Heart Foundation?
To be fair, I've never been a big Heart Foundation fan. I don't know.
Brett's now hung up and walked away.
I'm really sorry, actually. All I'm doing is shitting on everyone's tag teams. I don't actually like this whole wrestling thing. I'm kind of more into football.
Yeah.
I don't know. All right, how about this?
Yeah, go on.
Go on, Brett. You go first.
No, I was going to say, definitely Heart Foundation over NWO.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
I think I'm LIJ top. I can love those guys. I just love every part of LIJ.
I could get behind that.
Okay, so LIJ top, Heart Foundation, Bullet Club, NWO, Sanity.
I could go with that because even though we think Bullet Club are, a new world order version of, a new version of NWO, but they're definitely a better version.
Yeah, definitely.
That's very true.
Definitely a better
Okay,
version.
so do you want to read me that back to me from bottom to top?
Sanity, NWO, Bullet Club, Heart Foundation, LIJ.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey,
I think we got
it. We got there.
We have
Yeah.
a top 5.
And even though we might not have some classics, we got a legit good one there, I think.
Yeah, I think kind of LIJ, fantastic choice, really good winners. I think they're kind of the stable that all of us would have kind of put in our top 3 had it not kind of been mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel like the right stable one, and it's kind of easier without Adam here because he doesn't watch New Japan. Whoops.
I'm the champ.
The champ! That's why I'm the champ!
Hardest part of the ring champ. Jason Jordan, he's taking lessons from his dad and he's had neck surgery.
Yeah.
So the rules we've set out is that he has 4 weeks to defend the title. He's currently into week 3. Should have probably checked that. So he's still the champ.
He's definitely not coming back soon, though, is he? With neck surgery,
Yeah, so,
he's going to be foregoing that title.
Yeah, we're gonna do what WWE do and just kind of award the title to vacant until we work out what to do. Really, in all seriousness, we'll select a new champion on the next podcast.
Yeah, let's just hope we're not like a jinx.
I don't know.
Could you imagine? That'd be so good.
That would be great power.
Can you imagine every time we picked a champ and then they get injured?
Who would you injure? Who would be your choice?
Baron Corbin.
It wasn't even hard, was it?
was that too
was
quick?
very quick.
Man. I was about to say I wouldn't want to see anyone get injured, but
No.
Brett, you are,
To be honest, I wouldn't want to see anyone get injured.
unless it was Baron Corbin.
Oh, has anyone seen, Jay White Switchblade? His finisher, Blade Runner, it's the same as End of Days, right? Is that right?
Oh, I've not seen it.
Is Jay White just a little Baron Corbin?
Actually, that's not a bad shout.
He could be like his little brother.
That'd be a great tag team, actually. Sort of moody, grumpy.
It's kind of like Scooby and Scrappy Doo. Brett,
Yes.
social media.
Oh, yes. So, if you'd like to get in touch with us, you can contact us either through email on hardestpartofthering@gmail.com, or you can get us at hardestpartpod on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.
Nicely done.
Ta-da!
Solid. You're like the intercontinental champion of this pod.
Yeah. Does that mean I'm the Miz?
Sure.
Yeah, why not?
She's the champ at the moment.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool. Man, I'm really bad. This whole wrestling.
Is he a champ? Is he a wrestler?
Is he a champ?
Is he a wrestler? Does he wrestle?
Yes, he does. He's fantastic. In fact, why does the Miz not have his own stable?
He does.
Yeah, the Mistourage.
Wow, missed that one. Huh. Cool. Right, well, I've been found out, so that's it for this week's Hardest Part of the Ring. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Please don't forget to rate, subscribe, and all that jazz. Goodbye, Adam.
Wow.
Whoops.
Gosh.
Goodbye, John.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, Brett.
Goodbye.
And yeah, see you later.
That is the hardest part of that ring.
For the hardest part of the ring. The hardest part of the ring!
That'd be sploosh.